Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ronald J. Abdow Field here on the campus of American International College for today's Northeast 10 Conference Women's Soccer Contest featuring the visiting Stonehill Skyhawks and your American International College Yellow Jackets. Seth Dussault, the voice of the Yellow Jackets. So glad you could join us here, back for what should be a good one, isn't it always, when the Yellow Jackets and the Skyhawks lock talons and stingers. And the Skyhawks coming into this one at 5-1, 2-1 in the NE10. The Yellow Jackets coming into today's match at 3-3, 1-2 in the NE10. AIC coming off of a loss to Franklin Pierce 2-0 in the last outing here at home. We'll get to the starting lineups. First, we'll go with the visiting Stonehill Skyhawks. As you can see up on your screen, they are playing a very defensive system, a 1-5-4. Alex Jardina, the only forward. Number 15 is a sophomore in the middle. Cameron Thompson, number 20. Nicole Garfield, 21. Caitlin Reagan, number 22. Nadia Havens, number 6. And Courtney Campo, number 2. On defense, Isabella Cullen-Tro, number 5. Emily Scholar, number 10. Tess Irwin, number 13. Emily Rosano, number 25. And net number 00, Caitlin Brown, the junior. For your Yellow Jackets, starting lineup with a different look here. Traditional go up front for the Yellow Jackets. Federica Frew listed as a midfielder. She's a forward, along with Jacinta McCartney and Josephine Stendhal, 31 and 10. In the middle, Rachel Brown, Anina Senko, 5 and 8. And then on the defense page, Medeiros, number 6. Alana Gracia, number 13. Emily Gaffel getting the start, number 15. Florina Ravundra, number 25. And Haley Wheeler, number 28. Gets the start again, listed as a back. We'll probably play more up Lake in the midfield, and of course Michaela DeManch in the goal for Kavan Issa, the head coach in his 5th season behind the bench as the head man, and 14th overall as a member of this women's soccer coaching staff. Skyhawks in purple going right to left. Yellow Jackets in white going left to right. The exceptions are the goalkeepers. The goalie for Stonehill, Brown, is in all black. DeManch in all gray for your Yellow Jackets. Jamie Block on the coaching staff for the Stonehill Skyhawks. Block was a first-team all-conference goalkeeper for Stonehill, graduated a couple of years ago. Was, for 4 years, one of the best, if not the best, in the NE10 in her time. Imparting that now on to Caitlin Brown. Stonehill notoriously stingy defensively. Both teams playing a fairly defensive system. But we'll see if anybody can find an opening. AIC right now with 4 up on the line. 3 in the middle. And 3 at the back. And it is American International. Start with possession. Through a deep ball headed forward into Stonehill territory. And the Yellow Jackets possess there. Up the left side of the field is Senko. Back to Frew. Drops back now to Gracia. Up the side for Frew again. Looking for Brown. Chips across for Gracia, but it's out of her range. And out of bounds. Skyhawks chugging the other way. Ball toward the box. The flag, though, is up. And the Skyhawks are offside a minute into this one. Steamy night, although it's not very hot out. It is extremely humid owing to the downpouring rain that we had this morning here. The remnants of Hurricane Florence came through. And we got about 3 inches of rain today here in Springfield. But the sky's blue and pink. The storm is past. And it should be sunny from here on out. Although we are under the lights at Abdow as this ball is booted out of bounds. Knocked down on the AIC bench by assistant coach Cassie Ashwell. 2011 graduate of this program. Has been an assistant coach ever since. and so is in her 7th season behind the bench and 11th with the team. One of its all-time leading scorers. Stonehill looking to get one early on here into the corner. Forced out of bounds by Ravundra off the back line, and the Yellow Jackets concede the first corner kick of this matchup. So the Skyhawks, one player right next to Demanch. Here's the cross. It's low and easily defended away by Ravundra, who clears it as far as about 35 yards out. Stonehill getting it back deep in the corner, looking for an opening to cross. Tipped by the Yellow Jackets, kicked out of play by the Yellow Jackets, and the Skyhawks will have a throw-in in the corner. Here is that toss low along the line and then dropped back. Cross the box into Demanch. Very easy save for the junior two-sport athlete here at AIC. Co-captain of our women's lacrosse team last season. Center midfielder, and now a mistake. And Frew just overruns the ball. Let the Yellow Jackets push it back into Stonehill territory. Slung along there. Body down. And turned right over to Frew again, and this time she is on the ball. Frew touches it, looking for McCartney in the corner. It's booted aside into the Skyhawk bench. Haley Wheeler getting the start, will throw in. Really, really happy to see 28 in the starting lineup. Hard-working kid. Good athlete, great athlete, in fact, as this is kicked out of play by the Skyhawks. One of the most wonderful human beings on a team full of good ones. It'll be Gracia to throw in. Gets the toss. Frew up in the air. And then kicks it to herself. Stops the ball up. Fakes, able to get it wide. Yellow Jackets filter it along. Skyhawks steal. Gracia very nearly able to force it away, but she knocked it out of play in the process after it was mishandled a little bit by Josephine Stendahl. Deep ball into the right corner. It's going to be too deep and get out of play. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets, deep though in their own territory. Effective for Stonehill in terms of forcing AIC back. And they will have to go a long way to get to their net. They end up losing the ball out of play. So now it's a Stonehill throw in as we're 5 minutes gone. Skyhawks drop it back. Cross is blocked. Another one. Body down and then cleared. A little contest for the ball here, and it ends up being Stendahl. Wins it to Sanko. Sanko then filters it to Gracia. Gracia back to Sanko. And Sanko, spinning away from one defender, will drop back to Medeiros. Cross to Ravundra. Mishandles it, and the Skyhawks are up. Here's a touch on into the box. Here's a shot and a save by Demanch. Nicole Garrity got in behind the defense after the turnover on the missed pass. A 3-on-2 the other way, and Demanch dove and was able to get an arm on it, knocked it up over the cage and off the back line. So a corner. Certainly the least disastrous of the possibilities given what had happened, as the Skyhawks kick this into the side of the net. The Yellow Jackets get away with one. They can thank number 0 in the net for that. It was an A-plus opportunity and a very solid save for the keeper from Rochester, Massachusetts, not to be confused with Rochester, New York. Skyhawks still on the attack, touched into the right corner. They seem to like to play from that side. Knocked out of play off the sideline by the Skyhawks, deep in AIC territory. Thrown in. Knocked along and then cleared up and out. Another throw in. Skyhawks try to possess. The Yellow Jackets just chip it out again. We can do this all day, I suppose. That time, flicked up in the air. Brown pinballs around. Medeiros flares this one down the middle of the field. Running onto it is McCartney. Beat the Skyhawk player to the ball, but couldn't corral it in front of her. Skyhawks, though, much deeper. Ooh, there's a hard foul by Gracia. Right off the throw-in. It's a good old-fashioned hip check. Useful talent if you're on the hockey team. Not so much allowed in soccer. Good kick. Headed away by Ravundra, but the Skyhawks knocked the ball down with a hand. Nevertheless, Stonehill looking dangerous in the early goings of this one. Yellow Jackets haven't had yet an answer. Medeiros, a good kick up over the head of everybody. Knocked out of play this time by the Skyhawks, and the Yellow Jackets will have a throw-in from in front of the Stonehill bench. Quick toss in. Headed back into space for Frew. Bodies down. They're going to say it's on Frew, the foul there. This sort of out of control a little bit, sort of like a charge in basketball. And so the Skyhawks a free kick. Well driven. Gracia heads this one. It goes back. Brown knocking this one down. Wheeler pushes it along to Stendahl. Stendahl to Wheeler. Onto it, but into the bench before she can get the ball. Skyhawks quick on the throw-in. Drop back. And then Stonehill throws it into the AIC bench. Wheeler looking to Frew. This will go Stonehill's way. Skyhawks fly one along. Ravundra heads it down. Not a lot of possession in the last minute. Filtered through a deep ball into Demanch, who will cover. And will kick this one away from the top of her 18. Headed down by Frew, unfortunately right to a Skyhawk. Stonehill, however, cannot keep the ball in play. 10 minutes gone. Frew tripped up a little, able to keep possession, and so the referee says play on. Pitch and catch back with Ravundra. And now dropped to Medeiros playing outside back. Medeiros, a good long ball deep. She was looking to connect with Stendahl. Yellow Jackets end up forcing it off of a Skyhawk out of play deep in Stonehill territory. Thrown in, Sanko dribbles it to her knee across the box, and diving down to block the pass is Brown. First time we've had to call her name since the starting lineup, but a smart play from 00 in black. And on the drop kick, considerable distance, but to possession by AIC's Frew, who gives to Medeiros. Page fires one down. Sanko running onto it. The Skyhawks have to kick it out of play. Quarter hour mark approaching. 33 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first frame. Brown trying to keep this one in AIC possession. The Yellow Jackets do manage to hold the ball as McCartney settles it finally, having to back up a bit. Now fires one in. Brown will make a save. ostensibly a pass, but it was on net. As the Skyhawks filter one forward, missing everything. Frew mishits that ball. Had Stendahl going up the sideline. Couldn't connect. And then Frew just barrels over a Skyhawk player. That's Nicole Garrity, who had turned the ball over prior to contact. The Yellow Jackets should have the ball right now, but Frew's foul gives it back to the Skyhawks. 21 in white, not exactly afraid of getting into it. It's always been part of her game as this ball is chipped forward into the box. The flag's up as Garrity is fairly well offside. We've called 22's name in purple quite a bit tonight. Garrity's been involved on the offensive side of things quite a bit. No shock. Yellow Jackets try to corral this one. The Skyhawks intercept but lose out of play. Thrown in deep into the corner. Stonehill gets to it first, can't control it, lose it out of play again. Yellow Jackets keep this again. Frew will throw in. Kept in AIC for a moment. Skyhawks finally get one off of the Yellow Jacket and off the back line. So it'll be a goal kick from the 6 for Brown. As always, no matter where in the world you're tuning in, I want to thank you for spending your Tuesday evening with us, or whatever time of day it might be wherever you're at. Could be Wednesday morning. But if you are tuned in and you have a Twitter account, let me know that you're tuned in. I'm at AIC Jackets Voice. Tell me who you are, where you are, and we'll say hello. I always love to give shout-outs to our listeners. Even if you're rooting for Stonehill, we'll still say hi. It's fine. Meanwhile, ball across here. Guess who? Garrity intercepts. Filters this one forward. Hawks looking for something. Touch pass, top of the box. Ravundra getting in the way. Here's a shot. Easy save for Demanch as it did deflect back to an on-rushing Skyhawk midfielder. But it was not exactly a 10-bell opportunity the way their first one was. Ravundra getting away with a little bit of contact in that collision as Havens was the one with the shot there. Stonehill continues their push. Jackets steal it away. Well done by McCartney. Knocked down. And the Skyhawks turn. Cross is blocked. Sanko was the one in the way of that. Tossed in. Ravundra knocks this one away. Getting tied up a little bit there was Stendahl. Skyhawks get one forward into the box. Garrity across. Two players collide and they go down. No call. Tense moments. Frew getting in the way of that ball. This could be trouble for Stonehill. Filtered on. Fetty's going to be the first one to it, but it'll only be after it gets out of play, and so the Skyhawks will get it back. Both players sliding for the ball. Don't think there was a foul there back in the box, although you always have to worry, but as a general rule, as I've said, you have to commit at least 3 felonies in the box to get a PK. Garrity across. This is trouble, and it's off the post! The flag was up anyway. Oh, my. Everybody in the crowd thought that that was going to be in the back of the Yellow Jackets' net. The flag was down, but the ball hit the post anyway. You can't get much closer than that without it actually being in. Stonehill still has to be feeling good about the fact that they were able to get there. They have controlled this for most of the game, at least in the first 17 minutes, which have elapsed to this point. Knocked out of play by AIC. Be another corner. Good cross, headed toward target, tipped, and they score! Really well done on that set piece by Stonehill, and they take a 1-0 lead. AIC taking a timeout of sorts, getting everybody together on the bench. Garrity was the one who took the corner kick. No surprise that she's involved on a goal. But Scholar deflected it to Cameron Thompson right at the top of the goal line, basically. And all she had to do was tip it home. And so that is the 1-0 advantage for the Skyhawks. The Yellow Jackets now chip the ball into Stonehill territory. Brown on running. Turns it aside there. Able to filter it back, though. Stendhal touching along for Brown. Brown to Medeiros. Medeiros. Deep ball into Stonehill territory. That's knocked down. Frew knifes this one forward. It is cleared out of play. Wheeler will have to throw in on the near side. Tossed in. Frew can't get to it. Ravundra. Good fake, and then a good dish to the left side for Gracia, the defender. Gracia across the middle. Ends up getting all the way to Frew on the near side. Frew into the corner. Frew dancing away, but it's knocked out of play by the Skyhawks. This will be another throw in for Wheeler. Tossed in there, and Stonehill able to clear it off of Wheeler and out of play. Frew getting in the way of the toss to the Skyhawk player, Rosano, who's going to have the throw in. Medeiros able to get this ball free. Gaffel filters one forward. Touched along to Frew. Across. Up in the air. Headed along. Kicked down. Popped back up. Pinball wizardry going on right now. Good little fake, but then put out of play. Guess who? Nicole Garrity. Jackets on the quick throw in. Frew can't get to it. Skyhawks diagonally clear. Ravundra knocks it down, able to get it to Sanko. Uses her body to shield the ball and keep possession for the Yellow Jackets. Now drops it to Gracia up the left wing side. Lana Gracia up that sideline. And then back to her. Out of New Bedford. Gracia. Oh, just absolute ankle breaker move there. And a Skyhawk player went down, but then her pass misses its mark. And Stonehill able to filter forward. Garrity. Near side left sideline for her. Defended by Wheeler and has to drop back. Stonehill across. Ravundra heads this down. Frew activates. Chips it along McCartney. Into some trouble. Got run down from behind. They will not make a call. Sanko to Brown. Gaffel. And then Medeiros. Near side right. Pass is behind Wheeler. Can't quite connect. Senko. This one along Gefell. Stendhal now. Frew. A little soft on the pass. Ball knocked free, ends up Medeiros. She'll chip along. Frew bodies it down. Chipped ahead. Frew. Too far for Brown, but it is there for Gefell. She'll give to Wheeler. Wheels looking for Brown. Brown getting jumped from behind there on it. Brown able to get the ball along. There's nobody there. Brown had no idea that somebody was on her in the Yellow Jackets bench. They're right there, and somebody's got to communicate that there is a oncoming Skyhawk. Wheeler able to knock it through, and then a good touch to McCartney. McCartney filters forward too far for Senko, but the pass then knocked down by Jacinda McCartney. Rachel Brown will go across. It's Gracia. Has lots of room and is going to take it, and then a pass up the sideline. Well done. Jackets looking for something across here. Now they'll carry into the box. It's taken away there from Frew, and the Skyhawks will clear. Down the sideline, it'll finally skitter out of bounds just beyond the 50. Jen Hackett will come on. Jacinda McCartney will go to the bench. Yellow Jackets bringing on the Ludlow native. Junior. Thrown in. Lifted into the air. Gracia just chips it out of play. Substitution now for Stonehill. Into the game is Kayla Henry. Isabella Collintro coming off. I'll check that. It's Nadia Havens coming off. That's a 6, not a 5. A little hard to see on those Stonehill jerseys. Into the box. This is trouble. And behind the defense, but getting a piece of it is Wheeler. And AIC goes up the sideline. Senko onto it. Senko touches it past one. Filters through another with Stendhal there. Now Stendhal, one behind her, spins away. Stendhal around the defender. Well done. Stendhal finally loses the ball, and it's off the Skyhawk out of play from behind. Yellow Jackets another throw in. Look at this one to Gefell. Gefell immediately loses the ball. Medeiros punts this one onto the Skyhawk bench. 20:38 left. First half of play. 1-0 for the Skyhawks. Stonehill, a miss-hit on that ball and ends up going out of play. Checking into this one is Johanna Anglin. She'll take Emily Gefell off the field. Quick to the defense for Ravundra, back to Medeiros. We got a whistle and a foul on Stonehill. Free kick for Medeiros here. 11 yards beyond midfield, well to the right of the goalpost on the goal line extended. Medeiros, chip torn, knocked down by the Skyhawks, and then chipped out of play off the sideline. Cross. on top of the net. Wrong side of the net if you want to score. And the Skyhawks will take possession. A touch along, but out of play. Throw in for AIC. Knocked out of bounds off a Yellow Jacket. One of the problems AIC is running into is on these throw-ins, they're bringing 2 players over, and Stonehill's bringing 4 or 5 defenders. And so the Skyhawks are just easily taking the ball away because they're outnumbering. Stonehill chips this one down the field. It stays in. Good run on. And the Skyhawks have it. Let's spin away around Wheeler. Stonehill. Oh, that's all ball. Skyhawks chip this back in. Deflected right to Demanch, who makes the save. Jackets going to make a couple of changes here. Caroline Porter getting ready to check in, as is Taylor Koo. But meanwhile, here's Hackett. Lays it off on the left wing. Here's the cross. Headed. And in! It's peanut butter jelly time here at Abdel Field as Jen Hackett has leveled this at 1. Really, really well done for the Yellow Jackets on the counter. And the tip just passed Caitlin Brown. Betty Frew will pick up the helper. And we're even. So we have seen 2 very well executed crosses. One is a true corner from Stonehill. The other from Frew in the corner, although not a corner per se. And both deflected into the net. Really hard to fault either keeper for the ball ending up in the back of the cage. But we're level at 1 apiece. And so now, sliding and 2 Yellow Jackets collide. That is Brown and Senko. Anglin drops it back meanwhile. Medeiros, long chip over everyone. Skyhawks have another layer of defense back. They end up kicking it out of bounds. And Stephanie Gordon, assistant coach, played goal for Northeastern and then the UMass Amherst Minutemen. Able to stop that with a nifty little move. Senko, deft little dribble. Good pass between 2 defenders to find an open Hackett and then up the wing to Gracia. The Yellow Jackets starting to figure this thing out. Quick cross here. Only player there is Garrity. Ravundra read that really well. Heads it right back into Stonehill territory. Skyhawks do come down with possession. They'll cross this one. Medeiros gets shoved. It actually probably ended up helping her get closer to that ball, although she'll just allow it to filter out of play. Into the 30th minute we go, a 1-1 game. Not a lack of opportunities, and also not a lack of interesting plays, even in the middle of the field. The people who find soccer boring or tough to watch, tune into this one. It's been good. It's been very good. Stonehill waiting on a substitution here. Elizabeth Nerger, the junior out of Marshfield, Massachusetts, will be coming in at the next opportunity as we get a whistle and a foul on AIC. This is that opportunity. And she will come on. Who is she replacing? Well, nobody apparently. Coach Issa standing near the spot where Nerger is, and the two of them are having a good little laugh about this. Having worked with Kevon Issa for a very long time, my entire career here at AIC, I can tell you he is a man who takes his job very seriously, but he is also a man who almost always has a smile on his face. And he is the ultimate prankster. We've got some stories to tell. Maybe we'll tell them at halftime. Right now it's a game, and it's 1-1, and it's Stonehill and AIC, and how else would it be but a good one with these two rivals? Wheeler can't quite corral that ball inbounds. And it'll come back to Stonehill possession on the throw-in. And finally, the substitution gets made. Alex Giardino will be the one coming off. And meanwhile, for the Yellow Jackets, Wheeler will take to the bench as Ariana Miranda will come in. Miranda endearing herself to Yellow Jackets fans early in her career. Her second career game scores the double overtime winner against national number 3 Mercy as Koo gets run off the ball, sliding down. Unable to get to it, and then the pass in, intercepted, and Medeiros past one, fires. It's going to go well wide. Brown will just scoop it behind the goal line extended and take the kick from the 6. Headed along. Touched up the sideline. Filtered forward out of the range, though. The Yellow Jackets end up stealing back. Brown touches it back to herself. Really well done there by Brown. Fancy footwork from the all-conference midfielder. Miranda. Now to Ravundra. Chips along, looking for Gracia. It's not there. But the Skyhawks filter it out of play. 12:25 in the half. Franklin Pierce with 2 quick ones, and now they lead Southern New Hampshire 2-0. Koo tries to touch this one along, mishit it. Skyhawks steal, but Medeiros intercepts there. Hackett. Now Sanko. Sanko past the defender. Drops it back. Englund. Bid toward target. It's from a long way out, and it's a fairly easy stop for Caitlin Brown. And then Rachel Brown steals. And then Jen Hackett takes again. Nice little spin by Hackett there. Hackett getting double teamed. Ravundra with the ball, but Hackett grabbed a handful of Kayla Henry's jersey. And the foul is called from there. .11 on the clock. Make a wish, and it's 1-1 as well as this ball is deep. Ravundra heads it down. Jackets steal and chip away. Stonehill back with it. Right at about the 40. And Stonehill misplays it out of play. I say 40, even though it's clearly the 30-yard marker because, of course, the goals are 8 yards deep in the end zone. So you got to add 8 yards to what you see on those white football lines. If you're unfamiliar, it's the yellow lines, you probably figured out by now, that are the lines that matter in this game. Here's a cross. Ravundra bodies that away. Hackett with it now. Hackett has her pocket picked. Skyhawks touch one along. Gracia was there to get that away, and it's to Koo. Knocked down. Hackett in the way again, and then Sanko, a nifty little steal, touches along, back for Hackett. Filtering forward, Koo gets bumped into just enough to not get the call. Skyhawks steal, and the Yellow Jackets end up knocking it out of play. Here's the throw-in. A touch along. Sanko. Oh. Merciless. Over to Hackett. Hackett across, looking for Koo. It's deflected off of a Skyhawk, I believe. Yes, it is. It's going to be a corner for the Yellow Jackets. I thought that hit the knee of the player in purple in front. Koo was 1-on-2. Anglin will take this. Last year, she scored 2 goals, and both of them were on corners on balls that she just bent directly into the net. Skyhawks have to be ready for that. This will not be one of those. Cleared away by Stonehill. Medeiros setting. Lost the ball. Dropped back, and Medeiros hadn't gotten back in position yet. Skyhawks on the counterattack, but Brown taking it away. Filtered forward. The Skyhawks now chip. Ravundra is back. Bodies this down. Sets it to her feet. And gives to Miranda. Miranda then to Medeiros. Medeiros to Hackett. Hackett away from the sideline. Hard across. And right to Gracia. Gracia, a quick filter forward, looking for Hackett, who's on the run, but will not be able to get there. Well defended all the way by the Skyhawks, and it'll be a goal kick. Flicked along. Miranda, 2 hands in the back, and they're going to make the call. Issa not happy with it, registering a complaint. The referee quite literally just responded, "Thanks, Issa." That's funny. Skyhawks filter forward. Ball up the sideline. Over the middle. Koo heads this along. Hackett gets bumped but is able to find Brown. Brown back to herself away from a Skyhawk. Touched along. Hackett fires forward, misses the mark, and then the Skyhawks mishit it. This ball will not get off the back line. It has to be kicked off the sideline to prevent a corner. Could have gone very poorly for Stonehill there. Six and a half to go in the first frame of regulation. AIC thinking about this throw in. It's deep in Skyhawk territory. Tossed into the box. Bodied. Back out. Miranda trying to get to that ball. Couldn't quite there in time. Gracia knocks this along. Stonehill to possession has to drop back and then fire it forward. Misses everything and everyone. Ravundra able to get it to Medeiros. Medeiros looking for Hackett. That ball bounced up into the hand of the Stonehill player. And a very unfortunate hop into Emily Rosano. Medeiros. A good chip. Headed toward and in! Stonehill has 5 players immediately turn to the ref and say that that play was off. But it was not. You have to remember, offside now, they changed the rule a couple of years ago. Offside now is from when the pass is taken, not where the ball is received. That play is onside. It is a good goal, and the Yellow Jackets have a 2-1 edge with 5:13 to go in the second, or in the first half. Sanko, the finish from Paige Medeiros, right on the free kick. And boy, is that handball on the Skyhawks a costly one. An unfortunate bounce. And Emily Rosado has got to be feeling a lot of guilt right now. It's not her fault. The ball just took a funny hop just right up into her arm. But that is the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. And it's happened to the Yellow Jackets plenty of times, too. You get the feeling, though, the kind of game 25 has played, she's going to make up for it in a big way. A very good player. The junior out of Cohasset, Massachusetts. This one filtered into the box. It could be trouble. DeManch mishandles it, but able to get it back. The Yellow Jackets have been better and better as this one's gone on. Stonehill was all over them in the first quarter hour of this one. It's really been mostly AIC since. Obviously, the scoring reflective of that. Knifed forward. Hackett didn't react quite in time. Nicely knocked down by Paige Medeiros, who has evolved into a very strong defender in her career here. Now in her junior season, the Attleboro native obviously will pick up that assist on that goal, as we said. Don't have a lot of points necessarily in her position as a center back, but does a lot of the little things right. Hard-working players. This is out of play off the Yellow Jackets. 3.5 to go. It's a game where anything can happen, and doubly so when the Yellow Jackets and the Skyhawks are battling, as this ball takes an unfortunate bounce, and this time it's Stonehill's way. And guess who, once again, in possession at the moment is Garrity. He'll filter it back to her on the right side. Across. Just a little too far. Well, there it was. The first time in a little while that Stonehill's had a really good opportunity. You knew they were going to push, especially after conceding the go-ahead goal. They're too good of a team not to. They're not 5-1 on accident. They've beaten some good teams along the way, too. As Medeiros will take this free kick. Headed forward. And it gets through a couple of layers, eventually to Jenny Hackett. Hackett gets knocked down, loses possession as a result of the pass behind the target. Stonehill has it then knocked out of bounds by Sanko. Stonehill beat St. Rose 2-0. They've beaten Lemoyne 3-2 in their most recent match. Lost to Assumption. Their only loss, a 3-2 double overtime defeat back on the 12th. Also, huge 5-0 win over Nyack, 3-0 over NYIT, 1-0 over Malloy. So they have beaten some quality competition as this ball is touched back toward the box. Could be trouble. Yellow Jackets just force it out of play. 90 seconds to go. This some dangerous time for the Yellow Jackets. Thrown in, pitched back. Skyhawks drop back to their defense. Here's a good cross into the box. Rosado, that's a good ball from her. Nobody quite able to get there in time, but remember I said that you would expect that she's going to have a hand in something going the other way. Could have been there. Her teammates just unable to finish. We'll drop it back to her as we get to the 1 minute remaining mark in the frame. Rosano turned over now. Hackett picked her pocket. Hackett filters forward. That's knocked down back to Rosano, who clears. Good ball, but Ravundra, her opposing number, 25 on defense in white, knocks that ball down to Sanko right on the Yellow Jacket at midfield. Brown touches this one along Gracia. Final half minute. Good ball. Hackett touches back a little too strong for Sanko. Has to go all the way to the sideline to get to it with control. Filters it forward. Deep in Stonehill territory. Here comes a cross. Body down by Kuhn. A shot just wide. Off the keeper in a corner. The Jackets have 10 seconds to get this thing going. They'll quickly put it in. 3 seconds and 2. Here it comes. Blocked away by the defense. And that is the half. What an exciting one it was. Stonehill took the lead early on. They were ahead for a while, but then AIC's Jen Hackett finished one to tie it at 1. And Anina Senko, a header after a free kick in the 40th minute, made it 2-1 Yellow Jackets. I expect a lot more in the second half. Get the feeling this thing ain't ending 2-1. So be sure to stick around here on AIC Yellow Jackets TV for that second half, which we will have after halftime. Welcome back, Yellow Jackets fans. The Stonehill Skyhawks trail the AIC Yellow Jackets 2-1. Shots in the half 4-4, shots on goal 4-3, shots in the goal 2-1. Opening the scoring for the Skyhawks was Cameron Thompson. She was assisted by Nadia Havens. And then Jen Hackett leveled the game at 1. Freddie Frew with the helper. Anina Senko put AIC on top on the header off a free kick by Paige Medeiros. And that is where we stand after one half of play. Yellow Jackets will stretch out. Skyhawks ready to go. As AIC and Stonehill will have their second half in a moment. Yellow Jackets will go right to left as you look at your computer screen in the second half. Dressed again in the home whites, except for Michaela DeManch, who is in gray, trimmed in white. Stonehill left to right in purple, except for Catherine Brown, who is in black. Skyhawks looking to avoid their second loss in 3 games. The Yellow Jackets looking to not end up on a 2-game losing streak. Plenty at stake, including 3 big points in the NE10 standings. At present, if this result holds, both teams would be 2-2. The Yellow Jackets would, of course, have the all-important tiebreaker. But that's a big if with 45 minutes still to be played. These Skyhawks are not to be trifled with. This is a very strong side. And I anticipate, as I said before the end of the first half, that this thing is not going to end with a 2-1 on the scoreboard. And the Skyhawks are pushing forward right away. Here's a ball, but the flag is up. DeManch with the save that will not count. But Stonehill right off the hop puts the pressure on. Medeiros will have this free kick from just outside the box. Headed along further by Anglin. Frew back on the field for the Yellow Jackets. Knifes this ball off of Skyhawk and out. Thrown in and headed around. That's Hackett. Can't corral it. Had the equalizer. Now the Skyhawks moving along. Ravundra, great little touch to herself and away from the Skyhawk attack. And now another good touch. Slows it down and lays it off to Gracia. The Yellow Jackets have been effective at spreading the field here. And it is what has allowed them to become more effective in controlling possession as this game goes along. Gracia lost the ball and was able to deflect it out of play to allow the defense to get reset. Stonehill throwing in from in front of the Yellow Jacket bench. Crossbody down by Brown. Brown will reverse, looking for Wheeler, who is back in on this one. Wheeler will knock this out of play. It'll be a Stonehill ball. Skyhawks in control here. Knocked aside. Frew can't corral it. Stonehill recovers possession. Skyhawks looking for something deep in AIC territory. They're going to get a corner kick. They scored on their corner in the first half. At the time, they led 1-0 because of it. Chance again. Bodied down and eventually fired clear. On running Medeiros off the back of her head. It's bouncing free. Wheeler wins that battle. Little touch to Joe Englund. Gracia up the sideline, lost it, got it back. Away from one, a little touch to Joe Englund for another. And then through to Sanko. Across. Some space here for the Skyhawks, and they're going to take it. But Joe Englund will niftily take that ball right back. A little touch back to her from Gracia. And then a lot of room for Jen Hackett. And Hackett filters one to Fetty Frew. They forgot all about 21. You never forget about 21. A little dance. Across. To the front. Just wide. And the Skyhawks escape. With possession, no less, on a good ball up the sideline, but it's too far for everything and everyone. And it'll end up being the goalkeeper with it. So DeManch. It's a little hit underneath that one. Nicely done by Brown to get that to Englund. And laid off to Wheeler. Back to Brown. Touch to Sanko, and then to Brown again, and Brown across to Frew, who again is fairly wide open. Yellow Jackets doing a good job of triangulating. Here's Gracia up on the attack. Gracia gets through a defender. Alana tries to chip it across, mishit it, and pushed it off the back line. Not afraid to gut up into the play is number 13. Her freshman year, she scored a goal at then national number 10 Adelphi. Simply ran up the right side and then fired it into the net. She's good for one or two of those every year. A stout defender as well as this ball. All the way down. Yellow Jackets have to chip that out of play. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Across, and the only player there is Gracia. Brown onto this one. Knocks it down to get it away from the Skyhawks, and then to Gracia. Gracia touches this to Frew. Frew has to come back to get it. Does, and then goes back to Gracia. It's behind her a bit. She's able to recover. It's dropped back to the keeper, DeManch, who turns it over, and the Skyhawks fire a shot that DeManch is able to push just wide of the post. Barely recovered from her own mistake. Stonehill very nearly just equalized this game. A rare miscue from number 0. And Stonehill will get another corner as a result. They've looked good on these. Obviously the goal, but headed toward, blocked. That's Gracia. Were this a field hockey game, we'd be recording a defensive save for number 13 right at the side of the cage. They don't have that stat in soccer. Chelsea Davis, who is here from the field hockey team watching this game, has to be nodding in approval for her classmate Gracia. Both juniors. Davis recently broke AIC's defensive saves record for the field hockey team. It is third all-time in the history of NCAA Division II now with 23. After having 2 at Mercy and 1 at Stonehill, was named one of 2 AIC Athletes of the Week. Chandler Cotton Jr., the other, by the way. AIC men's rugby crushed Rutgers 71-0, and Cotton had 4 tries. So 20 of AIC's 70 points. Right now, the Yellow Jackets looking to put a third ball in the back of the net. Brown can't corral it. Skyhawks have numbers the other way. Here's a good ball over the head of Ravundra, but it's too far along and it's going to get out of play. Just out of the reach of the onrushing Jardina. Middletown, Connecticut native. Flicked aside. Frew. Chips looking for herself. Whistle. Foul on 21. And I back the ball up. Just 5 yards over midfield. They'll touch it along to the right side, looking for some sort of an opening. Frew knocks the ball but can't corral it. And the Skyhawks get it deep into AIC territory. They'll look across. Senko tried to clear that out. It didn't go anywhere, but it stayed right on her foot, so she was able to just possess it and move it out. An unusual play there, to say the least. Good ball up. And then touched along on the sideline. Back looking for McCartney there. Hawks are forced to push it out of play, though. Jacinda McCartney out of Acushnet, Massachusetts. Yellow Jackets moving this one in, but it is blocked. Skyhawks, opportunity to counter here. Hackett gets in the way of that enough to slow things down. And then the Yellow Jackets, well done by Ravundra there. A little touch to herself and then gives it along further to Gracia. Lana Gracia, her pass out of the reach of Brown, realized it right away and got back defensively instead. Well done. Paige Medeiros will move this up to the sideline and now control there. Medeiros across. Too far for everyone. Now Stonehill getting into some trouble here. Forced to lose out of play. Well done by Fetty Frew to put the pressure on. One of the team's captains, along with Nilsson and Gracia. Frew was a captain last year, too. Here's a cross. Only player there is in purple. Stonehill, however, can't keep possession. Wheeler fires toward the box. That's blocked. Headed around. It comes to Senko. Puts it in the air. Again, Stonehill is there for it. Englund knocks it down. Yellow Jackets possessing in Stonehill's third of the field. And they will end up forcing a goal kick. It's last touch by a Yellow Jacket off the back line. Jackets trying to possess. Yellow Jackets will have it. Quick throw in. Stonehill flicks this one on. Medeiros knocks it down. Ravundra is there to possess too. Yellow Jackets getting a little bit lucky on that one. Just right place, right time sort of things happening. Running on it is Englund. Englund taking the space that she's been given. Now lays one on to Hackett. Hackett on the wing. Hackett across. Running onto it. McCartney just missed it. She gets her foot on that ball. It's probably a 3-1 game. That is point blank range right at the top of the 6. Now McCartney with the ball. It's knocked away from her, but right to Brown. Brown's got some room to operate. We'll lay it back to Wheeler. Wheeler to Brown again. Brown across the middle. That is intercepted before it can get to Frew at the top of the 18. Senko. Nifty move to get it to herself. Touches it along to Frew. Frew flicks this forward, but it is well out of play. Jackets the last couple of minutes have bottled Stonehill up in their own third. Quick play here to try to get some momentum as this ball moves up the field and is stolen by Englund. Joe Englund has it knocked away from her. Hackett can't corral it. Nice little move around one. Another good move around another defender. And the Yellow Jackets just have to kick this thing out of play, as recognizing the issue that was developing quickly was Paige Medeiros, and she boots it out of play so that AIC can get back. Stonehill, meanwhile, will substitute Nicole Garfield off. Julia Sisti, the freshman out of Berlin, Connecticut, will come on. Just a quick jaunt down I-91 from here. Skyhawks lose the ball out of play. The Yellow Jackets will take over on the throw-in. Headed around and eventually to Stonehill's possession. Flicked forward. Ravundra defending. Here's a good ball through. Off the back line. But Stonehill does get some pressure the other way. Yellow Jackets with it. That's their Medeiros to kick it from the 6. Over the middle and eventually to Frew. Frew along. Skyhawks with it. They'll just flick this thing into the air. It'll eventually get out of play onto the Stonehill bench. Gracia the throw-in. Tossing along, and the Yellow Jackets draw a foul as Hackett gets hacked down. Free kick here for Medeiros. Set up a goal with the last one. Can she repeat the performance as we hit the 60th minute of play? Here it comes. It's a good ball, and it is punched out by the keeper, Brown, who takes down the Yellow Jacket in front in the process. That's just part and parcel of what's going to happen if you're a forward going in for a ball there. The goalkeeper might just get you, and they're not going to call the goalkeeper ever for a foul on that. Nor should they have in that situation either, I might point out. As the Jackets get a shot that is right on Brown, she makes the save and a quick throw, trying to get the offense going again. Stonehill's been most effective when they've been able to transition quickly from defense to attack. Ravundra nicely touches that down and then gets run over. They'll make the call there. Kayla Henry missed the ball, got the leg. They'll call that 100 times out of 100 by comparison. Not deliberate, obviously, which is why there hasn't been a card come out in this game yet. The fouls that have happened have been bad luck, not ill intent. A very clean game. Here's a good ball from Medeiros. Hits a bunch of bodies. Eventually Stonehill will get something on this, but Alana Gracia, a one-woman wrecking crew. Eventually Senko knocks it down, was in triple coverage. Senko shoving off. Surprised they didn't call her for a foul there. That was a lot of contact. They'll look for Hackett up the sideline. Stonehill forced to kick it out of play. Yellow Jackets will throw in. Gracia. Frew. Finds a little room. Blocked, but right to Brown. Brown. That's a hard foul in that time. The Yellow Jackets seeing one of their better players go down. Brown's okay. She'll be right back up. Frew has a free kick from 32 yards out, just to the left of the left post. I'll tell you this. They got 6, 8, and 21 standing around the ball, and all three of them can score from there. And I would think that the Yellow Jackets would be well advised to just try to put this thing in the net, rather than trying to make a play with it. Medeiros will. She'll miss. It's the right idea either way, I think. There's no real good way to cross a ball that's good for a header in a situation like that from that spot on the field. You almost have to take it to target. This ball is bounced around eventually to the control of Stonehill, and up the wing they go. Frew on rushing, but she won't be able to get there in time. Good connection for the Skyhawks. Henry into the box. Bottled up, knocked out of play off the sideline. Very well done getting back by Gracia to not concede the corner kick. Skyhawks clear it in. Ravundra clears it out. On running are the Skyhawks. This ball chipped high in the air. Wheeler finds it. Headed back toward and knocked well wide of the net. Yellow Jackets defense bend but not breaking. Wheels up, headed further. Hackett able to get it, and Frew coming on with this one. One to beat. Spinning back a little bit. Would probably have been better served going right to cage and continuing forward. Across. Knocked eventually down by Englund. Filters this one in. Nothing there. Headed along. Bodied by Brown. Brown hits it past Gracia, who's got to escape all the way back. Gracia slows it down. Flicks it forward. Hackett into the middle, but it's a Skyhawk there. And then Senko just comes in and steals from Sisti, the two number 8s. Senko burns a defender. Senko looking toward cage. Senko a bid that's blocked and punched out of play by the keeper away from McCartney, who was on rushing to try to redirect it back into the net. We got a whistle. We're going to get a substitution here. They're going to bring Stendahl back on. Who's coming to the bench in Stendahl's place? It's going to be McCartney. Corner kick here for AIC. Here's the bid over the middle. Headed down. Ooh. And cleared out. Medeiros. Right back toward. Hackett knocks this down. It's bouncing around. Hackett loses her balance. No call, nor should there have been. And the Skyhawks are able to clear. Wheeler will stop this. Plays it to her keeper, Demanch. We're 20 minutes deep into the second frame. It's still 2-1. Here's a good ball, though. This could be trouble. Here's a cross. It's blocked. Gracia back again, doing good work. Just keeping herself in the way. Stonehill to throw in deep in AIC territory. Here's the toss. Hawks with it. Drop it back. Going for the cross. Very mishit, but the Skyhawks able to keep possession, at least for the moment. Now Ravundra able to get it away to Stendahl. Stendahl along. Senko back to Stendahl. The Nordic connection, Finland and Sweden. Stendahl getting double teamed, able to get it to Brown. Brown's from Springfield, which is obviously nowhere near Finland or Sweden. There's your geography lesson of the day. Aren't you lucky that you get all this free content? Flicked forward, that's on. And into the corner and out of the corner. And it'll be goalie ball. Jackets will substitute Caffell back in. Englund will go to the bench. Nicely done by Ravundra. Still possessing of the Yellow Jackets. Senko now takes it. Senko filters the ball forward. Stendahl on her horse and able to get to it in the corner. Stendahl waiting for something. It doesn't develop. She'll give it back to Hackett. Hackett knifes one across. It's headed away by the Skyhawks to some safety. Cleared into space and then away from Senko before she can get to it and turn it back the other way. Charging back, Gracia. Gracia gets run off. It's flicked forward, and into it is the match before anything dangerous can come of it. Next games for both of these two teams will be on the 22nd. Stonehill will host Pace at 2 o'clock. The Yellow Jackets will head to Southern New Hampshire University at 4 o'clock. Substitution about to be made here by the Skyhawks. They're bringing on Caroline Colbert, senior out of Peabody, Massachusetts, is going to replace Garrity. Knocked along. Skyhawks with it. Cross. Oh, just missing the mark. Stonehill keeps that in. They're going to bid toward the cage and miss high to the left, not by much. An exceedingly dangerous chance. The pendulum momentum is certainly shifted around back and forth as this will stop the clock. It's on the 6. This ball is still in play. The Yellow Jackets head it further along. Stonehill knocks it, but it's right to Senko. Hackett, some good moves away from the Skyhawks defenders. Hackett stumbling, but able to lay it off up the wing. Wheeler, Brown. Brown to Frew. Frew finds it eventually. Touches it into space for Gracia. Alana, one around. Tries to go across. It's not there. Hackett steals. And the Yellow Jackets have it back. Flicked forward. Eventually pushed to the sideline where the Skyhawks will get to it. Gracia on her horse. Has to knock it out of play though. Yellow Jackets back the other way here. Stendhal, a little fake. Drops it to Sanko. Sanko, double teamed, spins away. Now quick across to a lot of open space for Wheeler. Filtered in, headed down. Skyhawks will be content to just clear. Brown gets run over. The Yellow Jackets chip deep. Knocked down by AIC, but they can't connect. Skyhawks the other way. Stonehill staying on side with this one. Across. Jackets defense is there, and Wheeler will knock it out of play. 19:25 in regulation time to go. The Skyhawks hit the ball out of bounds. AIC catches a break. Stendhal getting in the way there, able to get the ball eventually to Gaffel. Gaffel forward. Hackett. Knocked along. Good ball. Fetty Frew with all kinds of daylight in front of her. Frew. Toward. Save made by Brown. And then we get a foul on Stonehill. Jackets about to make some substitutions here. Going to see Miranda come back in and Jossie Diome come into this one. Free kick for AIC meanwhile. Paige Medeiros will have it. Paige punts this one. Trouble and a goal! Senko again from Medeiros. The flag, though, is up. It is no goal. This one will not count. And now a whistle. I was going to say, they did it again. 6-8, but that time it was off. Stonehill gets new life as a result. You go down 2. Needless to say, the probability is not with you. So, of course, everybody in New England knows that there's no such thing as an insurmountable deficit after what the Patriots did to the Falcons a couple years ago. Nifty little move. Skyhawks have to just push it out of play after Gaffel took some dangerous touches into the box. Now the substitutions, Miranda and Deom will come on. Wheeler to the bench, as is Frew. Jocelyn Deom, another two-sport athlete here at AIC. In the starting lineup for Ashley Cassiano's women's lacrosse team as a defender. Thrown in, headed, and then bodied down, and Sanko through the uprights. That's the wrong kind of football. You don't get 3 points for that in this one. Two-1 is amazingly still the score. Not for lack of chances, I'll tell you that. Gracia got away with a foul there, and then was able to get the ball off of a Skyhawk to boot. A lot of contact from Gracia. Ref did not see fit to call it. Deom scored the only goal of the game in AIC's 2-1 loss last year to Stonehill. A bicycle kick goal. I'm sure Skyhawk fans remember that one, even though at the time it made the game 2-1. They were able to hold on thereafter. Gracia can't get to the ball here. Stonehill with it. Koo knifes it free, but right to another Skyhawk. Still, it allows the Yellow Jackets time to get back. And then Stonehill ends up losing it out of play as a result. As with the first half, things have gotten better and better as this thing has gone along. Free kick again. Can the Yellow Jackets put one in the cage and keep it onside? Here it is. Knocked down by the Skyhawks. This time getting back to it is Hackett. Jenny Hackett, one defender on her. Hackett touches to Senko. Back to Hackett around. Into the corner is 1-8. 18's cross is blocked. It'll go out of play for a Stonehill throw-in. Here's the throw. Knocked down by Brown, not to anybody. Pretty hard foul by Gracia again. She threw Cameron Thompson to the turf. That was a pretty bold foul. A little surprised the card didn't come out on that, to be frank. Gracia able to head this thing out of play onto the Stonehill bench. Skyhawks with it. Into the corner. Here comes the cross. Over everybody. Gaffel will be the first one on the ball, and Stonehill's got to get back defensively. Gaffel taking some of the room that she's got. Gets it past Deom. Not able quite to get to Stendhal, though, and so the Skyhawks now possess. They'll fire forward. That's knocked down by Miranda. Into Jossie. And then Jossie taking a touch on that ball. Good one through to the right. Stendhal, a bid, and she scores! To the left post, and in, and 3-1 for American International with 13:18 to go. The Yellow Jackets get a crucial third goal. We said this thing wasn't ending 2-1. I should go buy a lottery ticket. Again, I feel though as though Stonehill's not done here, as this ball is out of play. This is a way too good of a team to fold up. They're going to put everything that they've got for the last 13 minutes, and it is going to be very difficult to defend. Whistle, foul on the Skyhawks. And no, for the record, I'm not just saying that for the benefit of the many Stonehill fans sitting in front of me. This is a good team. They're 5-1, and it's not an accident. They deserve to be where they are in the standings in terms of the record. And it is all but a certainty we'll see them playing in November. As this ball is through to Medeiros, it is onside, but saved by Brown, the keeper. Senko just not quite able to get to it. And the Skyhawks pressing back the other way. Medeiros, though, having something to say about that. Stonehill once again chips one along. This ball forward for the Skyhawks. Into the middle. Here's a bid, and this is saved by Dematch. Stonehill, though, starting to feel a little more dangerous again. So into the final 11 minutes of this. They're going to start to press. Here's a ball over the middle. That is intercepted. That looked like that hit Medeiros' hand. And considering Stonehill's been called for that twice today, I am quite surprised that the whistle didn't come out on that. Again, not deliberate, but $10:50 to go. Stonehill pushing. Have some numbers forward. That's a good ball, but Ravundra is going to be the first to it, although she mishandles it. And a save by Demanch. Oh, man. That was a grade A chance that never should have happened, and Michaela Demanch bails out the rookie defender, Florina Ravundra, out of Hawthorne, California. Just misplayed that ball after taking a good line to get in the way in the first place. As I said, Stonehill is dangerous, and they are not going to roll over. Here's another good ball deep into AIC territory, and Stonehill just a little too far in front on the second touch will go out of play. 10 to go. They'll take Senko off. Englund will come back in. Medeiros the kick. Headed further forward. Jocelyn Deom on to it. Jossie just bulldogging the ball, but can't quite corral it, although the Yellow Jackets do get it back on a friendly hop. Here's Jossie. All 4'11" of her. Doesn't play like it. Skyhawks forced to knock this one out of play. The 213s teaming up. AIC will make a substitution here. Stendhal, the goal scorer, will come out. Porter comes back in. Fresh legs for Kavan Issa in the final 9 and change of this one. Tell you who hasn't come out and who won't come out is 13 in white. 5 in white won't come off, and neither will 6. Chipped forward looking for Deom. Stonehill misplays that ball into their bench, out of play for the Yellow Jackets to have a throw-in. Stonehill with it. A touch on. Gracia off the Skyhawk player, and then it died there, and Gracia ends up putting it out of bounds on the Stonehill bench. Thrown in. Brown can't quite get it to Michaela Stefanski, who is in. Deom knifed out of play by the Skyhawks. Jossie will just keep going. Ravundra trying to get in the way of that ball. Cannot. Skyhawks pressing. Up the sideline. They'll call a foul. 7 to go. Fired along. Misplayed by the Skyhawks, and this will get off the back line for a corner. Medeiros did her job. Molly Sarah will now come in. They will take Brown off, a little surprising. Here's the cross. Dangerous. Still loose. And cleared. Gracia filters it over. Jackets try to go over the middle with it. That's going to be misplayed. Comes eventually to Gracia. Gracia gets it to Deom. Deom knocks it down. In front. Shot blocked. And off the sideline. Well, that got interesting real quick. Another throw in for American International. There's the throw. Headed over the middle. Could be some trouble as this is deflected. Last by a Yellow Jacket, it'll be a goal kick. Cleared forward. Ravundra. Yellow Jackets still keeping possession, at least for the moment. That's knocked free. Skyhawks the first to it, all but well taken back. Although out of play. Stonehill a quick throw in. Yellow Jackets knock it out again. Hawks to it. Once more, the Yellow Jackets just intercept. They'll clear. Deom. Able to filter this one on. There's nobody in white there. Getting back the defender, number 25. Emily Rosano. Thrown in. Whistle foul on AIC. Stonehill a free kick. Everything toward Cage now. Into the air. Big trouble. No room to fire a shot. Nice little drop pass, but Ravundra is there to clear. Hard charging Stefanski sprints up the field. It's dropped all the way back to the keeper. Brown has to clear it. Sarah intercepts there. Deom knocked down. Skyhawks control again. Knocked along, but out of play. Well done by Sarah to force that out. Jackets will throw in. Down to 3 minutes. And the Skyhawks have to be in desperation mode. Here's the throw. Flicked over the top. Brown will catch it. Have to hurry. Good ball, but Ravundra there in the way of it. Flicked along and knocked down by Joe Englund. Jackets a touch along, looking for Deom. They can't find her. Skyhawks to it. They'll get a throw in. No sense in not putting everybody up if you're in purple as they chip this one toward the target. DeManch easily able to get to that one. Skyhawks. Torn. Blocked. Sarah. And then Gracia clears it up. Stefanski can't keep it in. Yellow Jackets having to defend everybody over midfield except for the goalkeeper Brown for Stonehill. They'll put one toward the target. DeManch will catch it. Stonehill drops back. DeManch will take her time on this, wisely so. Deom can't control. Stonehill moving quickly. Englund able to get in the way of that. Gaffel filters it away. Up the sideline, the Yellow Jackets can't keep it in. Thrown in. Blocked. And well done to filter forward, although the Skyhawks are able to chip it deep. Gracia in the way again. Stonehill looking for a bid, not cleanly hit. This will roll and roll and roll right out of play. 20 seconds. The Yellow Jackets will end up improving here to 4-3, 2-2 in the NE10. Stonehill falls to 5-2, also 2-2 in the NE10 as this ball gets through. Sarah will carry it back, chip it across. Miranda will be the last to touch it in regulation. The Yellow Jackets defeat the Skyhawks 3-1. A big win that the team needed in a big way. Stonehill was everything we expected them to be. They played 9